Some of y'all. No. Oh, I don't think we've done a conference in here. This is a little more intimidating. This is a smaller enclosure.
That's what puts his feet up.
What was with the groaning as you sat down? What was with the groaning as you sat down?
Just getting old, man. You know, grandkids are really treating you rough. All right, that's one question. Let's mark that down.
You don't get to count questions.
Okay, well, then I guess I don't get to count questions.
What was the Team USA experience?
Yeah, I figured that would be a question. First off, you know, what an honor to go play for your country, and especially, you know, growing up as a kid and watching like the Olympics, and I don't really watch the World Cup as much, but just the idea of playing for your country, it was spectacular. You know, it was like a dream. I've never gotten to travel outside of like North America, so that was a first for me. That was awesome as well. You know, seeing Europe and Asia. And then as far as like getting to know the guys and the coaching staff, you know, all great people. Learned a lot. I learned a lot about myself and about the game. And, you know, obviously didn't pan out the way we had hoped for, but still a great experience and really looking forward to, you know, experiencing that again in the future.
There's some top tier coaches in Team USA. Like, what was the biggest thing or some of the biggest things you took away from that?
Yeah, you know, I think that with Coach Kerr, Coach Spo, Coach Lou, you know, and even Coach Few, the biggest thing that I took away was the idea that, well, first, just the way that USA played was, you know, we played basically all of our guys. You know, we had a lot of depth. And I think that because of that, we really learned how to play with good guys that we weren't used to playing before. And so I kind of learned how to, you know, get along with new teammates. And obviously all the teammates were great guys, so that made it a lot easier. But get along with them, you know, learn how to play with other guys, experience, you know, different players' playing style, and moving forward, you know, whenever we get, you know, different guys on the team, you know, learning how to adapt to those guys' play style.
How will that experience help you in your second year?
Yeah, you know, I think that everyone always says that playing FIBA in general, you know, gives you confidence going into the year. I think for me personally, you know, I can definitely see where I get confidence from that. You know, obviously, you know, didn't play as much as I had hoped, but, you know, at the end of the day, everyone on that team, Coach Kerr, Coach Spo, you know, all the players, they all wanted to win. So it wasn't like anyone had like a vendetta or anything like that. So I think that using this as an experience and, you know, the fact that I didn't play as much, you know, you could say like, well, you didn't really get a lot of experience, but you're practicing every day against those guys. You know, you're playing against them every day. You know, you're learning so much from all these guys. You're watching film. So just learning all that and really just gaining a good experience from it.
In terms of the confidence, is there a certain cachet that comes like with?
That's a great word. Wow. Someone look that up. What does that mean?
You know what that means.
Yeah, okay. Well, I just wanted you to give some credit, but go ahead. Ask the question.
No, I guess just in terms of being a part of that team, you know, you were talking about the confidence. Is there part of that confidence that stems from, I was part of this group, I was, you know, playing with these guys, hanging with these guys, getting to know these guys every single day?
No question. You know, I think that at the end of the day, all those guys are big-time players in the NBA. So being able to hang with them and play with them and really practice against them, you know. And, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, they're great guys and they're your teammates in the World Cup, but in the league, they're not your teammates. So kind of like watching them, learning some, you know, tendencies that they have, and, you know, being able to use that against them. And then just like you said, like wearing the U.S. flag on your shirt and like sparks a lot of confidence just based off of that. You know, going home and seeing a FIBA jersey with, you know, KESSLER on the back of it, just to be selected for it automatically gives you some confidence.
Where do you think you need to improve the most this season from last year?
I think that in the start of this year, obviously last year was my first year, so I didn't have a lot of experience, but really hitting the ground running this year because I didn't really start playing towards the second half of the year. So learning how to play a consistent game and show up every night for every game that I play. I think that'll be a big learning point for me.
Mr. Collins is a lot different than Kelly Olynyk and Lowry. Have you had a chance to play much next to him in open gym, and what's that like?
So I have not yet played with him in open gym just because of USA and not being here a lot in the summer. But obviously, know his game and looking forward to really playing with him. And I talked with him probably 3-4 days ago, like Thursday or something. Breakfast, like we sat down, had breakfast together. Super cool guy. You can tell he's bought in. You can tell he's just a high character guy. So really looking forward to that.
What are the differences that do you think you're anticipating with him being in the lineup?
Compared to Kelly?
Yeah.
Well, Kelly's probably a higher jumper, but no. I think, obviously Kelly is an unbelievably talented player, but I think right off the bat, obviously athleticism. You could say, I don't know if Kelly would like me saying that, but anyways. I think that obviously John Collins' ability to play above the rim is a lot different than Kelly. And I haven't necessarily played with John yet, so I can't tell you as far as like the passing ability. Kelly's an unbelievable passer and an unbelievable playmaker as well. So we'll see playing with John, how different that is. But right off the jump, just from a very shallow, perspective, he's pretty athletic. So.
Obviously, last year was like a new season for you, but there were so many different guys being incorporated into the team. What's the level of comfort now going into this year, knowing you have like a core back?
Mm-hmm. I think that it definitely, and just for me personally, knowing who I'm playing with and knowing their tendencies, at least for some of the guys, you automatically have more confidence because there's a sense of comfortability going into the year, a sense of, okay, I've done this before, I played these guys before, I know what they like, they know what I like. But at the end of the day, that's not our whole team. So there's going to be an aspect of learning how to play with new guys, and that's why I spoke on USA and learning how to play with different guys. I think that really will help me going into this year and playing with guys like, John and Keontae and, other newcomers.
How's your weight or your weight room different than a year ago?
I think, let's face it, I kind of got a baby face, so I'm a little young. So a lot of it's just naturally maturing. And then this past summer, other than, the 6 weeks I spent with USA, it was just a lot more consistent in the weight room because the previous year, with pre-draft and the draft and everything going on, there's just not a lot of, in the beginning there's like some consistent lifts, but it's just a lot different. So this year really just hammering that down. I don't know if y'all can see a difference or not, but I guess weight-wise, I'm probably like 255 now. I don't know what I was at the beginning of last year, but, I feel a lot stronger, jumping, I won't say a lot higher, but, feeling like I'm more explosive for sure. And like I said, part of that's just growing up and maturing.
Where does Walker Kessler make a leap?
I like, how we're referring third person. That's nice. I think that, like I said before, the biggest thing for me going into this year is going to be able to, obviously I want to elevate my game and expand it on the ways in the court, whether that's, shooting more, having more playmaking role, or just different stuff. But being, Coach spoke on it in his media conference, the way that pros can bring it and be consistent every night. Obviously, there's going to be bad nights, but being able to stay in that mindset of I'm bringing it every night and not let anything affect you. And I think that towards the end of the year, I did that pretty well, but that was only for the second half of the year. So really trying to see how the whole year affects me in that time span.
This is a dumb question, but how do you
No
do
dumb
that?
questions, man. No dumb questions. Of course.
But consistency, it just feels to me, I was like, hey man, just try as hard as you can every night.
Mhm.
What are you doing? But what actually goes into that?
Yeah.
Actually makes that happen.
It sounds super simple when you say it like that, but at the end of the day, it's a lot different than anything that any player has done before because there's no season that's at least in college and high school and whatever I've done, like there's never been a season where there's 82 games where you got to bring it, every night. And you can't really take. I mean, obviously you can do whatever you want. You can, but that's not the goal. That's not how you become a great player. So I think that it's just staying mentally ready and taking care of your body and understanding that there's a mentality going into the game that you have to have, and you have to truly believe it. You can't just like fake it till you make it. You really have to have this sense of, okay, like this is what I do. Like I'm going to bring it every night. Like I'm going to play hard. I'm going to play to win. And I've always been a big proponent of the way I play my best basketball is not worrying about my specific stats, but it's just trying to affect the game and try to win the game. And usually that kind of takes care of everything else.
At full strength, what is this team capable of this season?
I think that we don't really necessarily put like an end goal on the team, but I think that even from last year, you can tell that like we competed in every game of the year. We played hard, we played for each other, and I think when you have a team like that, no one knows the limit, just because we're not going to take any games off.
Where is I don't know how much you're talking to Coach this summer, but where have you seen his growth, I guess, from year one to year two, especially summer-wise?
Yeah. Coach is obviously extremely intelligent. I don't think anyone's questioned that, but I think that just as he coaches more and has more experience, I think that just like with me playing, I can speak on it. It's like your confidence as in that role just grows naturally. The more experience you have, the more failures you have, the more successes, whatever, you learn from those failures, you take those successes for what they are, and you just keep growing as a person and in that role. And I think you can tell that Coach is a lot more comfortable this year going into it, and has a lot more confidence.
All right, thank you, Walker.
All good. Thank you all.